Hello. Last week we did a testathon of audio and video equipment. All of the equipment I featured last week was donated to me by one person. Some of the equipment today is from different sources, but I've also been given one more item by that same generous person, and it's another audio video switch. This one's been modified for 240 volt operation. So we'll play with that one later, but today initially I want to look at some of the audio equipment we have, and that starts with this Cambridge audio amplifier and American audio, well, it's a mixer with Bluetooth. So we'll connect these two together. I've got some small speakers connected up to this amplifier, and we'll give that a spin. Okay, so to start with, we have this mixer and Bluetooth device. It's balanced output. It has balanced and unbalanced outputs. Its unbalanced output is connected to the amplifier auxiliary in, several inputs, and this balanced output, and microphone input as well. So that's a little mixer, and then that's connected to this amplifier. Let's give it a whirl. Switch on the amplifier, power, switch on the mixer, power, switch on the amplifier there. We've got a blue light, and we'll select aux input, blue light there, very faint, whoops, very faint blue LEDs there. And now switch on the, this has also got blue light, and it says blue, which presumably means Bluetooth. Don't want Bluetooth, we want USB. It's making a quiet sound, listen. Alright, let's plug in a USB stick which has a MP3 on it. U23 it says. It's working, though the volume's not very high. Something's a bit wrong. Is that a bad volume control? And only the right channel is working. What's wrong? Ah, two faults then. The input switch on this that is playing up, and the volume control on this is playing up. It's possible that both controls need a little deoxit on them. So let's start by taking this one apart and cleaning up that control. Okay, screws out. The lid is strangely warped. How odd. And looking in here, so we have the main board there, which does all the switching and amplifier, and some big transistors in there. So what are they about? Okay, they are regulators, 7815 and 7805 regulators. So the power supply is all on that board as well, and then the Bluetooth part, and you can just see the antenna there. That's a separate module, probably just bought in. So can we gain access to this switch sufficient that we can get some switch cleaner in there without stripping everything to pieces? Not easy, but I'll give it a go. It looks like there may just possibly be access into the internal switch from the top, so I'll give that a shot. Okay, it feels a little better actually. Let's connect it up again. Much better. Yeah, it's a lot more positive. Okay, we'd better try some of the other inputs, hadn't we? Okay, I have 1 kHz output here onto a single phono plug. Let's switch just to say line 1. Right, and line 2. I'm not going to test the microphone input right now. I'm sure that works too. What I haven't done yet, of course, is test the Bluetooth. So let's give that a spin. And yes, it works on Bluetooth too. Good. So the one thing we wanted to do with the amplifier was just spray up the volume control. It's working fine now anyway, but let's give that a little deoxit just to be on the safe side since it was playing up earlier. This is one where they've used Torx drives, I think, for the screws on the lid. I'd honestly say these screws are too small for the job they've been asked to do. I don't know why they've used tiny little Torx screws. Right, we had looked into this thing once before, and you remember I was a little bit worried about this glue. I think I'll unplug this. Right, powered down that. So we're a bit worried about this glue, that it might have been some sort of, it might have been capacitor leakage, but it's not. It's just supposed to be like that. Right, the volume control here, oh, it's motorized, so there's obviously a remote control that we don't have for this that can drive that. Okay, can I get switch cleaner into there? I think I can. I've got to be a bit careful here. That's the motor, that is a gearbox. No point putting switch cleaner in that. The volume control is at the very front, so that's where I need to be applying switch cleaner. Nope, still not there, still having trouble with that right channel. Odd that. It was bad until I turned the volume up and then it was suddenly fine. I don't think it's a volume control. There's something else going on here. You know what the problem is? The sound just went off momentarily when I tapped that. I may have shocked it into working now, but the problem I think is the relay. Speaker relay. So ideally I want to obtain a replacement relay of that type. I think that is our problem component right there. There's an interesting article about problems with the relay in these Cambridge audio amplifiers, link in the description below. So that suggests a better quality relay that I should obtain for this amplifier. My next item to test is the PCM-501ES PCM encoder. But I've spotted something. That's not a UK plug. Looking at the back, it says mains voltage 100 volts. So this has presumably come from a Japanese market, but it does say 50 or 60 Hertz, but then it's likely to be NTSC, isn't it? So it's designed to work with an NTSC beta video recorder. Now my understanding is that it will still play back tapes from a PAL machine. Colour's not actually important, it's the line and frame rate. But if you were to try to use this to make a recording, it would send out an NTSC-like signal. So we can still test it, I believe, with a PAL machine and PAL tape. But our first problem is going to be sorting out, well, I don't want to leave it in 100 volt mode if I can avoid it. So let's make a little bit of space here. I was going to sit it there on top of the amplifier and connect it up to a beta video recorder. But I think we're going to first have to take it apart and see if I can modify the power supply for UK mains. Now, I've worked on these before. I have modified, was it one or two of these I've modified for digital audio output. And in case you don't know anything about this format, I'll tell you. It's designed to work with a domestic Betamax video recorder primarily. Would work with VHS at a push, but primarily Beta because it's got higher bandwidth and because they made some machines with a PCM digital audio switch on the back, which switched off the dropout compensator. Now, as far as I'm aware, the only machines that applied to that were sold in the UK were the SLC9 and SLF1 portable. And I can't quite remember how you do it on the portable because I don't think there's a switch as such, but there's a way of doing it. But no later machines had the PCM switch, which was a bit unfortunate. In NTSC markets, they did carry on fitting the PCM switch to much later machines, including Super Beta models. So if you wanted a newer machine than the SLC9, which was never particularly reliable, you could consider perhaps modifying any Beta video recorder so that the dropout compensator doesn't work. And the last time I worked on a Beta video recorder on this channel, I was working on a Sanyo VTC-5000, and its dropout compensator wasn't working very well. I had to go in and adjust it. So perhaps you could modify something like a Sanyo or any other machine so that the dropout compensator is disabled by turning the control back, or by fitting a switch perhaps, or maybe use a modulator switch to make that into a PCM targeted machine, so you could switch off the dropout compensator when you're running PCM digital audio tapes. I don't need to because I have enough working SLC9 machines. Mains comes in here, goes to some terminals on the transformer, one of which then goes to the switch and then comes back to the other end of the transformer. So that means this is not a multi-voltage transformer. I had this situation a little while back with a Super Beta machine from Japan, and again that was fixed at 100 volts. There was no way of changing the transformer tappings to give it any other mains voltage. Just noticed there's a foot missing, so it's rocking around a little bit. Right, so that makes it a bit difficult to use. We can still hook it up to, you know, I've got isolation transformers here and I can set up any voltage I want, but it does mean that if we wanted to use this in the studio, we would either have to use the transformer permanently or change the transformer, which is just going to be horrendously difficult. Okay, I'll put the lid back on then. So let me show you what we have hooked up here. Starting at the top, we have the Sanyo VTC-5000 that I'd worked on the other day, and its video output is connected to video in on the PCM-501. We've also got monitor out connected over to the monitor. Then audio out from the 501 is connected to the aux input of the amplifier that we've been using. So we should have a system that we can hopefully test and see how well this machine plays PCM tapes, and hopefully we'll get audio from the amplifier as well. Right, I've got the Beta powered up on UK mains, of course. The amplifier is powered up on my isolation transformer, just because it is, and the PCM-501 is powered up on a different isolation transformer. This one allows me to select different voltages, and I've set it to 112 volts, which is pretty close to 110. The display's on, that's always a good sign. That's record level, don't need that. If I press the tracking button, the red light comes on there, that's all good. It's tracking that matters here, not the VU meters. So let's try playing a tape. That happened the other day with this machine. Rear idler's a bit sticky. Okay, well that problem's gone away. Doesn't like not being used. So, right, we'll fast forward it a bit. Let's see what we get. Tracking central. That looks like PCM digital audio. VU meters moving. Tracking control a bit jumpy. We'll come to that in a minute. Let's see if we have some audio. I've got the wrong button pressed. There we go. Aux. Sounds dreadful. Okay, so before we worry about why the sound is so bad, we need to fix the low tracking reading on this, which can be a combination of the tracking control of the beta machine, also tape condition, which I don't have much control over, and also the setting the optimum video control. So try and get this nice and high. At least some of the time it is. And then optimum video control. Should be able to get it to light the green light at least some of the time. Not playing particularly well, this tape. What does it sound like now? Oh, sounds pretty good. So there's the VU meters, and then when we press tracking, it just gives you a reading of the quality of the tracking signal, and adjusting this OVC should get it to flashed green for a moment, but it's best if you can get it onto this one, and better still if it's not even flashing but solid, which is normally the case when I play tapes downstairs on my SLC9. So this particular setup isn't working as well as it might. Let me try another tape. Okay, clearly the PCM decoder is working fine. I think this machine is not giving the best results because this is a tape I recorded on the SLHF 100 Beta Hi-Fi machine from another 501 when I was looping music out from a DAT machine onto it, and that tape plays with green lights on the machine downstairs. So maybe it's not the best machine in the world, but we have proven this works. We've just got that annoying problem with 100-volt input. Okay, the final piece of kit I was hoping to look at today, but we've just run out of time, is the other JVC AV switch, and this one, as I've mentioned, has been converted from 110 to 240 volt operation, so there's a mains adapter in there, and it comes complete with the original service manual. And one of the features of this one is it has a dual operation mode, so it can route one signal through to another machine and another signal through to another machine, and you can monitor any of them individually. It's also composite and S-video and will interchange between those two in PAL. So this has certainly more features than any other AV switch I have here, and I could use that in some of my systems downstairs. But we'll stop there for today. I hope you've enjoyed what we've done. I'll do plenty more content on audio and video technology in the near future. Bye for now. Oh, just marvellous. I think the loading motor belt's gone on this. Alright, I should have replaced it earlier. Let's change that. I bought a load of these belt kits years ago. There you go, new belt fitted in there. So while we're here, we'll change the rear idler belt as well.